Hello everyone, Pastor Matthew here from Monroe County, Michigan. I've been asked to make a video explaining the day that the Sweet Angel worship was hijacked. But before I do, I want to say that just prior to making this video, and mind you, this person had no idea that I was sitting here getting ready to make this video, but they sent me a reel that reminded me of a story in the Bible where Joseph wrote in Genesis that all things intended for evil, God will use for good. Kind of reminds me, goes along with this, because I know God is using what has been happening in our lives for good. So I'll go on to explain. As many of you know, we were building the Sweet Angel worship in South Rockwood, Michigan, at the Downriver Marina and Campgrounds. It was to be our church, our mobile stage of worship, and we had built in the belly of the ship not only our home, but also a Christian recording studio so that we could continue to write our worship songs. So, long story short, it was 4 years. It's nothing new. This isn't a new story. This is something that's been going on for a long time. We endured multiple cases of theft at this place. The owner of the marina stole my engines to our 32-foot pacemaker that we had driven to this marina on originally. This vessel was going to be used as the towboat for the Sweet Angel worship, to move it around, get it where we needed to go, get people in and out to it if it's out on anchor, just whatever we wanted to do with it. It's been kind of mixed around a little bit. People have asked, well, what were you doing building a boat? As if that's the story. That doesn't have anything to do with it. We were building a ship. We had every legal right to do so. We broke no laws. We weren't harming anyone. We were living our lives that God set forth for us. Still trying to cut this down and make it short for everyone. 4 years of just craziness. I stood up against the owner's girlfriend for discrimination against tenants. That didn't go over well. She decided to hate me. Slandered me to the community and everyone around the marina, that I was a Satan worshiper, that I abused my children, that I locked my autistic son in a dog cage, called CPS on me, called law enforcement on me, just anything and everything they could to cause harm on our family. I forgave and I still forgive. And I pray for them. I pray salvation for these people's lives. I want nothing but the best for everyone out of this. I want to see the full sum of God's glory take in and, heal everyone from these hard times. A few things that happened. I was in a business arrangement with the owner of the marina on the purchase of a bus for our ministry band. That went sour when everything erupted around the marina. I stood up against them. They had threatened eviction, had threatened me to get rid of everything that I had, my other boats. I had a sailboat, I had the pacemaker, I had another smaller little get-around boat. So out of fear of getting evicted and having all these vessels to move, I tried to sell off everything. I sold off all but the pacemaker. And I engaged in a sale of the pacemaker, but in the middle of it, the gentleman got in a car accident, so it took us a while. In the meantime, everything valuable that was on that vessel had been stolen. I can't say by whose hands. But the marina thwarted our situation of the sale, harassed the gentleman I was trying to sell the vessel to. He abandoned the entire situation, said, I don't want nothing to do with the boat or this place. Leaving the vessel on me as the registered owner, which fully okay with that. It's my boat. Argument after argument, trying to get Adam to give me back my engines that he stole from me. Even threatened to take me to court and provide the conversation of an argument him and I had where he admitted that he took the engines and took them across town to his other storage unit. Also admitted the slander and, crazy attacks that were coming from his place of business and his people, promising that he would stop the situation and, get people to lay off and let us have a peaceful stay there. Of course, that did not happen. I had to stand up against them, call law enforcement to protect us. They decided to take us to court for eviction. The courts are supposed to allow us a trial where we can provide evidence. His attorney knew how to get us in front of the wrong judge, not a civil trial. The judge did us a favor by denying Adam what he claimed $25,000 to remove our vessel from the marina. which did not need to happen because the vessel floats. All I had to do was untie my ropes and leave the marina. We were glad to do so. We found a place to go, another marina that we were going to rent through the winter and work on a purchase plan in the spring. The owner of the marina then took the pacemaker off of the water without asking my permission, put it on land, held it on land for many, many months. I argued here and there with John, the manager, what is owed on it, what is the rent on it, let me pay it and have my boat back, and please get Adam to give me my engines back. I had reported the theft of my engines to the law enforcement. They would do nothing about it. I don't think they even investigated it. But on the day of the court date, when Adam was denied the $25,000 he was asking for the removal of our vessel, he went back to the marina and crushed our 32-foot pacemaker with his crane, and we have video footage of that. Everything was set to go. We had 2 weeks to plan it all out. We had a gentleman that was going to tow our boat for us and then was scared to, for good reasons. He was afraid of facing Adam if he pulled us out of the marina, which it shouldn't have been a problem. We were legal to go. The judge had ordered that we take our vessel and just leave and get out of there, which by this time, like I said, we were glad to do. On the day we were supposed to be leaving, I finally talked my friend into getting there and getting us tied up so we could get out of that marina. We were untied from the dock. We were on our way out of the marina. We were moving across the water, which legally means that I was no longer on the property. In the middle of trying to get out of there, the gentleman named Mark and a few others, as well as Adam himself, the owner of the marina, first circled my wife in the park across the river and then made his way over to the marina, to the seawall there, screaming and yelling at my towboater, telling him that he would be going to jail for pulling my vessel out of that marina. Total false. The court order said to leave. We were doing what we were told to do. They scared my towboat off, and we drifted into the banks there to the seawall with the other boats. They held us there against our will for hours. The law enforcement came out. They at first was trying to call our friend back to tow us out of the marina, abiding by the court order, and even called the towboat company out there, who was a friend of the owner of the marina. He was no help to us. He wasn't going to help us. They even asked the owner of the marina to tow us out into the river so we could drop an anchor, and he refused to do so. So the law enforcement decided to instead escort us off of the boat, off of the property, and let Adam take our boat, tie it back up to his dock, and hold it hostage against our will and not allow us anywhere near it. He then let it sink in that marina and is now taking us to court for whatever charges he can try to put on us for the vessel still being on his property, even though he stole it. In this video, you can clearly see that we were untied and moving. You can see Mark on the docks right next to our boat, yelling and screaming, telling us that we weren't going anywhere but to jail. And you can hear Adam yelling at him, telling him that he is going to jail, my towboater. And you can hear my towboater tell me that he loves me, but he's not going to jail.
There's Adam watching, of course. He decided to come over here. No, not walking yet. Hold on. Not walk on the dock. Not yet. Not yet, baby. Look. It's Daddy's ship. Look. Daddy's ship. Watch. Of course, Mark has to be over there being involved with it. There's Adam once again.
The video was initially meant to document the journey of the Sweet Angel Worship, a vessel dedicated to spreading the word of God as a mobile ministry, traveling from port to share faith and hope. However, as the camera rolled, the relocating mission took a terrifying turn. What was supposed to be a serene and spiritual journey to their new home port became a chilling account of the vessel being hijacked. The footage, originally intended to showcase the ministry's move, now serves as a harrowing record of the crew's struggle for control against unjust captors. In the chaos, the camera captured moments of fear, desperation, and a profound sense of disbelief. Ironically, what was meant to be a mission for divine peace was transformed into an urgent plea for help, highlighting the vulnerability of those who dedicate their lives to service and faith. This video was posted in the spirit of transparency and to provide clarity about what truly transpired during the incident. The intention is to ensure that the events surrounding the hijacking of the Sweet Angel Worship are fully understood, without distortion or misunderstanding. By sharing this footage, the aim is to offer an honest and unfiltered account of what occurred, so that all who care about their mission and ministry can see the reality of the situation firsthand. It is important for them to set the record straight, and they believe that this video is the best way to share the truth. Despite the horrific events they have faced, they are committed to continuing their mission as a nonprofit organization and ministry. Their faith remains unshaken and will not allow this horrible act to deter them from serving others and spreading the message of hope and love that the Sweet Angel Worship was created to deliver. They are more determined than ever to support those in need, strengthen the community, and carry out the work that God has entrusted to them. This setback, while painful, will not stop their dedication to their calling, and they will move forward with even greater resolve to fulfill their mission.